Hey guys, morning on my end, whenever you're watching this. I don't know. But I played with that thing a little bit further last night and did some stripping down on it. I'll show you in a second. And this morning the kit car left, so that was nice. Fun to see that one less thing to try to figure out how to park. Alright, pile of junk. It stripped off some pieces. Stripped off some more pieces, got it down to its kind of, let's go on this side, see it over here. You can kind of see what she looks like now, all the guts off of her. It's, I keep my finger out of that front of that camera. There we go. Flipping everybody off. But that's pretty much the whole drivetrain right there. Cylinder head, carb, going into the transmission. Transmission has a chain going to a jack shaft. I was going to take the jack shaft and kind of mount it on the bicycles, but when I'm kind of way I'm thinking now, get that out of there, is that I can probably just work with what the frame is on the ATV part of it to mount up my rear bike sections and hack off what I don't need as I go along. I'll probably just cut this completely right off, just leave the support for the we're going to call it jack shaft, but it's actually the rear axle. The carrier bearings are noisy on this thing too. You don't play in them, but they're noisy, so I may address that before I put it all together. Of course, that'll get cut off too. I got kind of a good idea. Should I explain it? This is what that sprocket looks like on that rim. It ratchets one direction and locks the other way. And my thought was I was going to have a problem with having the sprocket on both sides. Both sprockets would be on the right side of the rim, and I'd have to come through the front of the rim to a jack shaft to fire it. But what I ended up doing was, this is just another one that came out of that scrap pile I had. This is how they're on there. They're just threaded on, and you take the opposite way it's going. You're supposed to put a spanner wrench on there, grab those two pins, but again, you just take a chisel, and I spun that off. Took it, flipped it over, put it on the rim the other direction, threaded it back on. Now it ratchets the direction I want it to ratchet. If you look now, the rim can freewheel and then still drive in the forward position. The only bad problem with that is now it wants to unthread itself, so I'm going to probably have to take the TIG welder and tack it in a couple spots on the thread to keep it locked on the rim. And the other side stays normal. So basically both sprockets will be on the inside, which allows me to kick the wheels out further. So I have 24 inches on that jack shaft to work with. Pile of junk that I stripped off of. And moving over to here. Those are the two back rims. Fired up the plasma cutter and I cut the guts out of the center of the rims. Being these guys right here. This is what's kind of left of the center of that rim. And I took, of my piles of bikes, those two pieces of crap over there had two sprockets that were identical. And I took them off, sandblasted them. Of course, I sandblasted all this stuff up too. And the biggest part is trying to get, you got to get these center on those hubs, because the chain will be going tight loose if you don't get this dead nuts, and you also want to get it true this way. As long as you keep it flat on the flange, it pretty much holds itself being true. But here's what we got. I tried a couple of different things. I found a socket that fit real snug on the inside, so there's no plane in that hub. Put that on there. Then I took another socket with like a flat on it, and I angled it slightly inward. I'm going to exaggerate it now just to show you, but just so as you took the bottom and you spun it, of course two hands, one hand turning the bottom and one hand drawing the socket in. I kept drawing this socket in so it was touching the teeth till it found its center. And so that's kind of what you see right there. And then You can use whatever welder you have. What's nice about a TIG welder is you don't physically have to touch it. Sometimes with the wire, as soon as you hit it with the wire, it wants to push the sprocket. So I TIGged it. You can tell I did it twice. The first time I did it, I had to break it loose because it wasn't true enough, so I redid it. Broke it off and just reset it, and then tacked it in 2 places again. Tacked it one, and then pushed down on the other side and tacked the other. So you got a pretty true looking setup. I just got to do that one more time, and then that will end up going back on with all the components that came off of it. Get through this one-handed. So that will be my drive. I pick the bike up between that sprocket, coming back, driving the original sprocket on the rim. So that's where I am right now. I figured I'd just make a little video, just kind of showing the parts and pieces, how it's kind of coming together. And you know, of course, the frame's probably, I'm not going to do it yet, but I'll probably just hack it right here and right here, and this will move forward. I want to get it sucked in closer, and I'm probably going to come off of right here with some rod coming across, tying all these together. I got to get them all squared up and all that. But right now, I'm just working on getting my my drive setup done. After that is taken care of, then I'll hack off the front, everything that's on the front, get that out of my way, and create the front end with the trike of, you know, using these components, and go from there. Alright guys, kind of funny, the guy that bought the kit car, I drove down about 2 miles away. His brother gave me a ride back, and when he came back, he asked me if the Mustang was for sale. So I gave him my price on the Mustang, and his brother might buy the Mustang. So not a bad deal. I wouldn't mind seeing both of them go. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll do probably a wrap-up video at the end of the night showing how far I came along. Thanks for watching.